All right, let's talk about open and closed systems because this is going to lay the groundwork of everything that we talk about going forward in energy. So, jumping into that, a system is a collection of elements. So, it's a collection of items or objects, things like that. It's a collection of elements, and it can be made of as many or as few elements as you want. So it can be a single object, or it can be, every object in the known universe. Both of those would be examples of systems. So some additional examples, if you're talking about say a skateboarder riding up the hill, let's make it a little more interesting. There's a skateboarder, and your friend so your friend's on a skateboard, and then you're behind them pushing them up the hill. So you could have said that you can make a bunch of systems here. So system one is just the skateboarder. And then maybe system two is the skateboarder and you. And then you could have system three is the skateboarder, you, the earth. You could also have a system four that's the skateboarder, you, earth, the ramp. You can include as much or as little as you want in these. And that doesn't mean that they're all equally useful, but it does mean they're all equally valid. So as you play around with this, you'll get more comfortable with this. Now, once you've defined your system, the surroundings include everything else that exists. So anything that's not in your system is your surroundings. So in the examples I gave up here, in the first system, you and the earth and the ramp and all of that would be the surroundings for system one. For system two, the earth would be the surroundings, and you can kind of see how that builds forward. There's going to be two types of systems that we talk about. The first is a closed system, and a closed system does not interact with its surroundings. So energy doesn't go in and out. There's no forces acting on the system from the outside. The system isn't acting on anything from the outside. So energy does not go into or out of the system. And the equation that we'll write for this is that the change in the first energy system plus the change in the second energy system plus the change in the third energy system. So this is like gravitational potential energy, kinetic energy of a different object, etc. So you add up all of those, and that's going to give you your total change in energy, and that's going to have to equal 0 because everything within our system has to kind of cancel out or balance out. This is opposed to an open system, which does interact with its surroundings. So energy can go into or out of the system, and similarly we'll have all the energy changes added up together. So change in energy 1, change in energy 2, change in energy 3, etc. Again, is our total change in energy. And we know that that will equal the heat plus the work that's added or removed from the system. And we'll talk more about that piece later, but for now just know that however much energy went in, that's going to be the total change that we see in our system. And so for both open and closed systems, energy is conserved. So the energy isn't lost or like created out of nothing. If it's a closed system, it's easy to see because it just moves around within the system. But if it's open, it still goes to the surroundings and gets absorbed somewhere in the surroundings, or it comes from the surroundings and reduces the energy of the surroundings. But the point is it's conserved in both cases.